This was so intriguing. I thought the entire first half or first section was like so meditative almost, and seeing all of these different groups in their kind of what seemingly was like a more natural place for them to be. And I just got that like from their costumes and the way that they were moving, the way that they were gathered. Also, where they were filming, absolutely breathtaking. The shots that they were able to get were insane, and it definitely added to it visually. So beautiful and so easy to watch. It was easy to consume, and that made it just so enjoyable to watch and kind of let yourself be taken on this journey. And I really, really enjoyed it.
This piece had the most glorious landscape shots from above, and it just really captured the immensity and the power of the environment. There's really engrossing movement of kind of an anthropomorphizing of people. The man in the beginning who started out in the leather scales as a creature crawling through the rocks just had this immense commitment to the movement where I believed he was this critter. And just exploring the boundary of human to creature in great detail and nuance of movement. Other great highlights is that these fluid fish creatures in exploring a section of low tide, and the brilliant manipulation of sticks for our peacock to dinosaur to tree. Just very inventive, and I was always wondering what we would explore next together.
Absolutely gorgeous visuals. In the very beginning, we get to see nature, and I love nature, so seeing that was very exciting for me. It was so interesting transitioning from all the different sets of dancers, and like the variety of lights and backgrounds. Some were very bright, and some were like more on the dimmer side, but no matter what the background was, the entire time you were focusing on the dancers. The wide shots are beautiful because it was able to capture so much more than just the movements. And even so, with that, you're just focused in on the movements. I think this was a very strong piece, and I very much enjoyed watching it.
Incredible, incredible dancers. We're all moving so in sync and in flow with each other. It was capturing to watch. I really liked the desert scenes with the purple sand. It seemed like they were in another world, and their costumes were absolutely beautiful, and seeing the slow motion movements, and it really captured just how beautiful dancers' bodies are, and the way that the muscles move. It was so gorgeous to watch. The textured scenery and landscapes and the sprawling sandy deserts, it seemed otherworldly. I thought the filmmakers made a very good use of sound and also the lack of sound. In particular, the scene in the forest where there was, the dancer with the green sticks on his back. It was totally silent and absent of a score, but you could hear just the sounds of nature, the birds chirping, the crickets, all of these things. And it just made the scene all the more powerful. So I thought there was so much at play here, and the creativity was just next level.
Features many talented dancers working in unison in such a way as to often evoke very specific imagery. The movements oftentimes have a connected purpose beyond just, synchronized action. They are to evoke an idea, to make some kind of statement. Oftentimes that statement feels kind of animalistic. We see a lot of mimicry to a certain extent, or manifestations of animal movements and behavior. At one point, it even seemed as though they were potentially evoking a dinosaur with the green sticks, the way that it went onto the dancer's back, was reminiscent visually of a dinosaur. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but we certainly see animal imagery and behavior play a central part in the choreography and kind of loose narrative of the film itself. And it has gorgeous locales that really add to its credibility and substance.
I thought it was really primal about 2 minutes in when the performer was climbing down through the edges of the rocks. And I have to say that wardrobe was really primal and makeup was on point as well. It was clear that all of the features of the performance were chalked with dried dirt and mud, so very realistic and very atmospheric as well. This piece was really rich in terms of presentation, costume, and use of landscape. Overall, very interesting to observe and an enchanting experience overall too.
It's got this sort of soothing sort of quality to it, but also kind of tense. I really liked what they, the use of the props and the costumes. I thought, especially the fish one specifically, I'm thinking that was just really interesting. And yeah, it all comes together in a really, really interesting way.
When I first watched the Circadian Cycle, I just thought it was a beautiful shot, or a beautiful footage of South Australian beaches and well choreographed dancers and fascinating acrobatics. But after I discovered that the Circadian Cycle refers to the natural cycle of physical, mental, behavioral changes of a human in a 24-hour period, the meaning and symbolism became much more clear to me. How his acrobatics expressed his extreme alertness, and by the end of the day, how he is having a sleep pattern regulated. So thank you, Garry Stewart, for teaching me something. I thought it was very beautifully shot and very informative.